And we're back, boy. And we're back. Oh, man. And we're back. Welcome back, guys. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in, and make sure you send out positive vibes um to my stream. Send out some positive vibes to my stream so we don't have any more issues. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Welcome back. We're gonna get this thing cracking now. If you're coming from the previous stream, someone gave a super chat. I think it was Jack. Jack, I saw the name, but I didn't see your question. So, Jack, wherever you are, hopefully you're back here. Make sure you drop your question below so I can see it. Welcome back, guys. Oh man. Make sure you send some positive vibes to my stream so we don't have any more technical difficulties. I told you that this could happen. But anyway, make sure you make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Welcome back. Okay. Um hit the like button as you come in. Hopefully we get everyone else back that was in here. So anyway, drop your questions below as you come in. We have to start this thing over. Again, if you want to send a super chat, make sure you send it now so I can prioritize your question. This thing, I don't know, YouTube for some reason does not like my internet. So some days it's like perfectly smooth, and then some days, we lose it halfway through. If Jack is in here, I saw Jack gave her super chat. Make sure you pop back in and drop your question so I can see it. Jack, if you're in here, um, go ahead and drop your super chat, okay, brother? Thank you. So without further ado, I'm just gonna hop back into it. Make sure you hit the like button already as you come in if you haven't already. Okay, let's see here. And shout out to everyone joining. Welcome. Let's see here. VC says, "Hi, coach. What are your thoughts on multiple breakups with the same person? Is no contact still effective?" Well, no contact is the most effective thing that you can do. All right, regardless what the outcome is that you want. If you want to fix things with them and get back together, or if you want to move on with your life, because think about it, what's the alternative to no contact? When someone walks away from you, they're telling you you're not good enough, they're not happy with you, whatever the case may be. What's the alternative? You want to beg them? You want to chase them to stay with you? You want to beg them to accept you? Obviously, that's not a reasonable solution. So, if I were you, regardless of how many times you've broken up before, you must go no contact. Obviously, if your goal is getting back together, the more times that the relationship breaks up, the less likely it's going to be able to be fixed, of course. But it's still your best bet by far. Okay. Again, for those that missed it, for those that were in the previous live, we had some technical issues, but we're back. This stream is going to be awesome. Okay, we're not going to have any issues this time. I can feel it. But just to prepare, okay, if you want to skip the line, send the super chat and I will prioritize your question. One. The other thing is Jack donated a super chat in the previous stream. So Jack, whenever you come in, make sure you send your question. I already saw the super chat. I'm gonna take care of you, okay? And if for some reason, Jack, maybe you don't get back in here, maybe you're watching this later on, send me an email and I'll know it's you too. If it's not the real Jack, I'll know. Okay. So that offer is only for Jack because he made a donation. Okay. All right, cool. So let's see. Next question from Richie Paul says, "Thank you for the advice, and I'm getting stronger when I hear your advice." Awesome. I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of everyone in here that's taking action and taking control of your life. Okay. As much as you care about this person, as much as you love your ex, You have to be more focused on your life, your outcomes, and what you want for yourself. Okay. Do not spend all of this energy and time focused on your ex, because you're going to lose them if you don't become a better person. I promise you that. So, super proud of you too, my friend. Rosabelle with the stars and the flowers and the kisses. Thank you. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Seriously. It's your boy Enzo. Says me and my ex dated 4 years before I got too friendly with another person on social media. All right. It wasn't the first time. It's been 6 weeks, but I begged, sent flowers, and tried to surprise her at her house. Never do that. Do not show up to places where you're not invited. You look creepy. Okay. I understand that you have a past with them. I understand you were together for 4 years, but it is completely out of sequence. Do not chase after being dumped. Now, I know you did something wrong, but you've apologized. You've tried to make things right. Now, all you have to do is let go. Give her time and space. This is one of those things where you have this false perception that doing more is going to get you the better outcome, but in a lot of cases you need to do less. You just need to let go, take your hands off the wheel, and allow time to kind of wear her down. Do not show up at her place again. Seriously, that's creepy. All right, but I appreciate you for the question though. Brad from Okeechobee, if I said that right. Shout out to you, Brad. Welcome to the stream. Vivi says, my ex still keeps me on Facebook as in a relationship, okay, with me after 3 months. Should I delete it? Well, it depends. Are you in no contact, and what's been going on since the breakup? I'm curious. Are you guys even talking or not? Right? If you're not talking at all, you've been in no contact, they haven't reached out to you, and it's been 3 months, I don't see why not. You can definitely take it down. But I'm curious if there's been other things going on that would maybe justify them keeping it up. Maybe you guys are actually going on dates or working on things. But that's interesting. Uh, Super chat from Def Speedy. Appreciate you for the super chat. Says together for about a year. She broke up with me. I was needy. Okay. Broken up for 3 months. Been on my self improvement grind. I keep trying to DM every couple of weeks. No response. We work together, so it triggers me. Why are you DMing her? This is another one of those things where I tell you, you think that by doing more, you're going to attract her to you. By calling her, texting her, that makes you look weak, needy, and insecure. And if she broke up with you for being needy and you're still trying to DM her when she's not talking to you, how do you think that makes you look? You have to think about this from your ex's perspective. What is she getting out of the deal? Okay, I'm going to believe that you're a great guy, all right, that you have a lot to offer. But you have to understand she has to feel like she's getting a prize, she's getting someone special. Now ask yourself this question. If Justin Bieber or Drake, whoever you like, all right, that's a celebrity, all right. If they were getting ghosted, if they were getting ignored, do you think they would be sending multiple DMs to anyone? You have to hold yourself to the same standard. So that's extremely unattractive and it's not going to work. If you can't even just leave her alone, that will actually work in your advantage. When she sees that, wow, it's been a month and he hasn't even tried to DM me, maybe he's changing. There's nothing about that that's attractive. That's extremely unattractive. Extremely unattractive. Weak, needy, and insecure. Stop it. Rosabelle says, I need some help. My ex mom keeps calling me and texting me as my daughter and sometimes asking me for money. I know she's a lady, but it's affecting me emotionally. What can I do? This is where you have to learn how to set boundaries. Okay. You're no longer with her son. So you need to set effective boundaries and say, hey, I appreciate you for texting or for calling. But at this time, as you're aware, me and your son are not together. So I would just like to focus on myself for right now. All right. So I'd appreciate if you give me a little bit of time to work on healing emotionally, and I'm sure we'll be in touch soon. You can say it in a nice way. It doesn't mean that you're going to call her in 2 or 3 months, but that's just establishing a boundary so she understands that you're no longer welcoming her calls and texts, especially if she's calling asking you for money. That's manipulative. So, but you can be nice about it in case you fix things with your ex in the future. You don't want to be a jackass, but I would set a boundary and I would definitely stop giving her money for sure. Let's see. Hector says, I've been watching your videos, coach, and it has been helping me a lot. Thanks. Yeah, thank you, man. I'm proud of you and I'm glad you find the videos helpful. Seriously. Uh the Nurturing Empress says, good evening, coach. Good evening. How you doing? Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Good to have everyone here. Uh Let's see. Stephanie Chavez says, my ex's friend follows me and always one of the first people to view my story. Should I delete them? No, you don't have to. There's probably your ex watching, but you don't have to do anything. It's okay for your ex to keep stalking you and watching you. That's fine. It shows that there's interest. So allow them to stalk you. That's fine. It's okay. The Trap Grub says, crazy. I literally just left my ex's house and she's telling me that she might be getting to know the gay man that was a friend, is now getting to know one another. They're just friends now. What's your question? Mariola, hey, Coach Black. Why does my ex give a like or heart emoji on my post with the fake account on Instagram? Well, if you're sure it's them, like, how do you know it's them if it's a fake account? I'm curious. All right. But if they know that you know that that's their fake account, that's just a breadcrumb, right? Ultimately. And so they're trying to get you to chase them, which you shouldn't do, by the way. Do not chase them whatsoever. Jack, if you're in here and you didn't hear already, I know you donated a super chat. So if you have a question, make sure you drop it below and we'll get to your question as soon as it comes in. Okay. Um, all right. Let's see. Kay says, my ex calls me, asks me questions, and when I ask him the same question, he answers annoyed and rude. Then when I ask him, why are you talking to me like that? He says, I'm busy just like you. Well, if he's the one calling you and he's disrespecting you, you need to get good at getting off the phone. Say, hey, I don't appreciate how you're talking to me. And when you're ready to talk to me with some respect, you can call me then and we'll talk. And then get off the phone. Okay. So if he's asking you questions, you're answering the questions, and you ask him, and now all of a sudden he's being short, he's being rude, he's disrespectful, just exit the conversation. Say, how about you call me when you're in a better mood? Uh, AyoRitz says, hey, coach, me and my girl broke up about 2 months now. We dated for about 3 years. She gives me mixed signals by being flirty in person, but when I text her on the side, she's cold as hell. Well, why are you texting her? If you got dumped, your ex should be doing 100% of the initiation. All right. Seriously, 100% of the initiation. Why? Because their attraction is low. They walked away from you. So getting back together needs to be their idea. Now, I'm not saying you have no input in this. I'm assuming you want to be with them, right? So you have to allow them to come to you. Don't initiate anything because they're going to feel like you're chasing them away. Have you ever tried to chase down a dog or a cat? They're going to run in the opposite direction. So even though she's cool in person, when she goes home, if you keep initiating, you're not allowing those feelings to nurture and develop. You're actually killing the feelings that she develops in person. All right. Love and attraction is what happens in your absence. All right. It's what someone does to themselves in their mind when they're sitting at home or they're laying in bed and they're thinking about you. That's when they actually fall in love with you. It's not with all the text messages and the heart emojis and saying, "Oh, I can't stop thinking about you." That stuff doesn't work. It really doesn't. So you need to stop all that. Stop all that stuff. Stop texting her. Allow her to reach out to you and go from there. VV says to show my respect to breakup and that he can lose me, I am in no contact. He texted me though once a month. Breadcrumbs. What's your question? Uh, Hector. Let's see. Hector says my ex broke up with me over a month ago. I've been no contact for 25 days. We've been together for 4 months, but we dated since July 2022. She likes being chased. Will no contact work in this situation? No, she doesn't like being chased. I don't care what she's telling you. All right. Stop chasing her. Leave her alone. She dumped you. And also, just the facts that you stated, you started dating in July of 2022. You were together for only 4 months. And you've been in no contact for a month. So basically, you started dating in December. So it took her from July to December to agree to commit to you. That tells me she probably wasn't super into you, dude. That's my gut feeling now. That's the best I can do with the short amount of text that you sent to me. So you definitely cannot afford to chase her. All right. If there's anything I'm missing, definitely we can talk about it. But that's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like she's that into you, dude. Ghost. Sir, I really need my girl back. That's a terrible mindset. You don't need anything. As soon as you need her, you're going to become weak, needy, desperate, and insecure. You have to understand your ex has a choice in this matter. It's not about what you want, they care about what they want. So you can need her all you want. And if she's not attracted to you, she will never come back. Now, watch this. Let's see what Ghost does since she needs her so much. So I really need my girl back. I said I stopped our relationship, but I never loved anyone. Now she is in another relationship. Great. I need to get her back. What can I do? She doesn't even listen to me now. Well, you can't do anything. That's like trying to compress water. You can't do it. It's impossible. You can't make her do anything she doesn't want to do, and she's with someone else. So your best bet, wait for it, is to go no contact. Seriously. And there are certain cases where it's okay to reach out to your ex depending on the context of the situation. This isn't one of them. She's with someone else, dude. So you need to give her the space. Give her so much space it makes her head spin. Let's see. Brad Goodbread says my ex left me 4 months ago to go back to her ex boyfriend of 9 years. Wow. Excuse me. Let's make sure the stream is good. Let's see. To go back to our ex of 9 years, okay, we were together for 9 months and very happy. Never even an argument. They were re-engaged within a week. I went no contact, and she reached out in 6 weeks. Yeah, she sounds a little confused. But at the end of the day, isn't she supposed to be engaged to this guy while she's contacting you? Doesn't sound dependable for sure. My situationship said he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Convo is dry and I don't need to reply back to him. Okay. Night before I spent the night, no issues. He blocked my number but watches all my IG stories. What's your question? I did no contact and now my Child's mother is asking me for money and also calling me when she's having problems and tells me she misses me, but I feel like I need to be better. I recently got a new job. What's your question? If you're gonna take the time to type things in there, at least end with the question, okay? So let me know what you need answered. Uh okay, Benito, I think this is, he was begging. He said, "Thank you for reading my question. The breakup happened a year ago, March 29th. I begged after that, April, May, June, July, August. I left the college, so I stopped. Yeah, just stop, dude. It ended a year ago. You begged for basically 6 months. Dude, I would move on. She's probably already moved on from you. If there's any chance, let her reach out to you on her own. There's nothing else for you to do. It's been over a year. You've chased and begged and written her letters for months, and she's still ignoring you. That says a lot. You got to have some self esteem. Seriously. You got to have some self esteem, and you deserve someone who's sure about you, dude. Let's see. Yeah, so I would forget about her forever. Adonis says she blocked me after many cycles. We saw each other in public, but we never greeted each other. Was it the right thing to do, or should I have greeted her? Well, it depends on the context, but if you're blocked, there's nothing for you to do. Like, someone blocks you, they're literally restricting, they're putting up barriers between you and them. So you don't go around the barrier, you don't climb over the barrier, you don't see them in public and say, "Hey." It just makes you look creepy. All right. Part of this thing is that your ex needs to respect you. They need to look at you with that strong passion and desire again. And if that's ever going to happen, at least they got to respect you. Seriously. All right. So Benito and Adonis uh, do nothing. Well, specifically Adonis, but there you go. Super chat from Ariel. Okay. Ariel probably has a question somewhere. Let's see if we find her question. Where's your question? Did you have a question or was that just a donation? I'm going to assume that was a donation, but I'll check again later. Thank you. Let's see. Tushar says she contacts me frequently, but from overall conversation, I can sense that she loves me, but right now she doesn't want to be with me or anyone else. What should I do in this case? It's BS, dude. All right. If she's not agreeing to see you, she doesn't want you. All right. And you need to stop talking to her. Being there and being her friend and hanging out and texting all the time. Well, not even hanging out in your case. Just texting her, "Oh, I can sense she loves me." If she loves you, she wouldn't dump you. That's one thing I know about women. Women do not dump men that they're in love with. So you're projecting how you feel about her onto her. If she dumped you, she doesn't love you, dude. So you need to leave her alone. You know, and trust me, I do want the best for you. I want you to get back with her if that's in the cards for you. But I got to be honest with you. Okay. I coach some people and I can see when you're projecting how you feel onto your ex. If she loved you, she would not have dumped you. And if she made a mistake, or at least if she felt she made a mistake, she would be back with you. She'd be agreeing to see you. But right now, it sounds like she's using you as an emotional crutch. She can talk to you whenever she wants, gives you hope that maybe we'll get together, maybe at some point in the future. But for now, just be my do boy. Be on ice. Just stay on ice here so I can talk to you whenever I feel like it. She's not going to come back to you if she doesn't feel some pain of losing you. It's not going to happen. So actually do the stuff. Actually go no contact. There's no way around it. My ex still wants to be friends, but I don't want to. Then don't be friends. Tell him, "Hey, I don't want to be friends with you. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not interested." Let's see. Uh, Blessing says, is there hope after 9 months of no contact? We stopped talking after an argument. It's been silence ever since, but we never blocked each other or deleted our numbers. Well, after 9 months, I tell you, now I don't know the context of why you broke up, what happened. That's very important in this case because at 9 months, I would be focused on moving on. I would be focused more on my energy of finding someone else who's excited about me. But it does depend on the context. Like if you're the one that dumped them, and you really want to get back together, then you should be reaching out to them. But yeah, I don't. Blessing, I don't have the context. There you go. Adonis says, "How to stop being needy? Just stop. Occupy yourself with other things, friends, families, activities, right? Being needy just means you're not allowing the other person their own space to roam and to have their own life outside of you. That's when you're being needy. So if you want to stop being needy, just stop. Leave them alone. Allow them to reach out to you. It's actually very simple. Find other things in your life that you can focus on and prioritize. All right. Brad, okay, this is the last one I'm gonna do from Brad because you've been asking a lot of questions. Brad says, I keep going no contact and she only lasts about 4 to 6 weeks and reaches out. We talk and text for a couple of weeks. See, you're agreeing to the backup because, first of all, she's with someone else, right? So you're deluding yourself that, oh, she's gonna talk to me and she's gonna dump this guy. No, let her dump him first. Two, you sit, text, and talk to her for a couple of weeks. That's a waste of your time. You only want to talk to people who are excited about you. And what you should be doing after a breakup, when your ex reaches out to you, is you should be setting dates in person, not random talking and texting. But anyway, we talk and text for a couple of weeks, but she still stays with him. So I tell her it's inappropriate for us to talk and go no contact again. Oh, it's inappropriate for us to talk. And then she comes back in a month and you go back to talking. You're not even standing firm on the things you say that you're going to do. Why would she come back to you? I got to be honest with you. Right? Why would she come back to you? You say one thing out of your mouth and then you do something else because you're too desperate. You don't believe that you actually deserve her. You don't believe that you can find someone better. If she's with someone else and she's not respecting her relationship with this guy, don't be a part of it. Tell her I'm not interested. If you want to talk to me, come back when your relationship is over. And if I'm single, we can talk then. Anyway, that's what I would do if I was in your shoe. Um, can pride stop someone from reaching out? It's possible. Could both of you be waiting on the other to reach out? This is why I said, what's the context? Who broke up with who? Because if they dumped you, if they took you and tossed you in the trash, their pride doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how prideful they are, right? There is a power dynamic in a relationship. And when someone dumps you, they're up here. And if you come back and you're begging and you're texting and trying to fix things, you're still coming back in the relationship here and you're still going to get mistreated, disrespected, and not valued because you're agreeing to be lesser than. Someone doesn't walk away from you and get all the perks and benefits of being with you. Shouldn't be happening. All right. Hope I wasn't unclear. All right. All right. Let's see. What's the next question, my friends? And I appreciate you all for being here. All right. I want you to know that whatever, you know, I'm saying, I truly hope that this helps you. And it's always coming from a place of love. Okay. So if I'm being a little hard on the guys, it's because I want to motivate you to stop accepting less than you deserve. Okay, so this is all coming from a place of love. And if no one else is going to tell you, I will. Okay, I will tell you because I want the best for you. All right, let's see. Uh, Orson. Orson said ex broke up with me in January, went no contact, and unfollowed all socials, removed from contacts. Okay. Month later, started liking my tweets and being sad. I didn't respond, and weeks later, they text me. Sounds like no contact. I tell you, this stuff is effective. When you start seeing all of these random signs from your ex, they're randomly liking posts, or they're moving closer. They're starting to talk themselves into, well, maybe I should just call. So let them do it. Never react, never overreact because your ex watched your story. Be patient. They're moving in the right direction. So let's see how Orson's story goes. Orson says, weeks later, they text me, hello, does this work? I didn't reply. And another month goes by and they're back to liking my tweets. Okay, I'm gonna stop there because all of your texts are kind of broken up. That's why, again, if you want to ask longer questions, send a super chat. If you can't fit all of your thoughts into, like the free question thingy, because it's hard for me to keep scrolling and searching for all your questions. But anyway, but why are you ignoring her? Right? If she's starting to reach out to you, if she's starting to come towards you, why are you ignoring her if you want to be with her? That's not a good idea. Okay. Tynesha Coleman says, I can't even reach it. Uh, yeah, I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea what you're saying. Make sure you type your question in properly in such a way that it makes sense. All right, let's see. Um, what do you recommend for what to do while at work? Just keep it business, or should I try to display that I'm comfortable and treat her like a good friend? You don't need to treat her like a good friend. Just, unless you guys are working on top of each other, unless you guys are like completely, totally like you have to work side by side, just be professional. If you see her in the hallway, you can say good morning and go about your business. You do not have to go out your way with her. All right. You got to change everything you've been doing in the past. All right, Jack. There's Jack. Let's get Jack's question. It took me a while. Jack says she unblocked me on Facebook after a month of no contact. Okay. She left me on block for a few weeks and blocked me again a couple of days ago. It's been 2 months total now. She seems weird to do that after 2 months. Yeah, she's starting to react to no contact. That's all that means. She's starting to react. She's noticing that you're not reaching out to her. She's probably not comfortable with this. She doesn't like how that feels. And so they do the unblocking, the blocking, the follow, the unfollow to get a reaction out of you. But if she left you, let her come to you. She's moving in the right direction though. That's a good sign. LJ Clue says, been in no contact now for 3 months with my ex. She reached out to me last week and said she was just reaching out because she wanted to know that I was okay. I replied, but went no contact after. Yeah, good job. She wasn't trying to check to see if you were okay. She's wondering, why is he able to stay away? I'm telling you, when people say, does no contact work? Will they forget about me? When you actually remove yourself from the equation, in most cases, they will not forget about you. It bothers them. There's something about the human mind and human psychology that, people want their ex to be doing worse than them. They want their ex to be like missing them, to be thinking about them. And so when you go silent, it actually bothers them. All right. So good for you, man. Uh, Slow mo says, Coach, you should be at the Final Four. Nah, I'm not. I'm actually not a big like college basketball guy, but I'll probably check the scores and the highlights later. Diamond says we broke we broke up 5 years ago. Is that what you're saying? But we have been emotionally entangled off and on. We have kids. He had a girlfriend, but she didn't like him comparing her to me. Now he's pursuing me after telling me he moved on. Why? Because you're putting up with it. If you're always okay with taking the scraps, right? So this is the father of your children, and he's not willing to offer you commitment, but you accept it. He's gonna keep doing it. All right. So he's dating other people. When it doesn't work out, he knows that he's always gonna have his backup girlfriend. You need to start to demand more of him. If he's not willing to show up and actually be there for you emotionally, and not just say things, it's time for you to go find someone else. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. If you have a question and you want to push it to the top, I prioritize super chat donation. So if you want to make a donation to me, go ahead and do so. If you have a question, okay, if you want to move your question to the front, go ahead and do so, and I would jump into your questions. Otherwise, just be patient. Depth perception says spent day working with X, just us two. What were y'all working on? Second time I seen him after no contact, maybe made out twice. Okay. He asked to hook up, but I said no, playful. Good job. Definitely shouldn't be hooking up right now. He didn't reach out to me after, so I did after 2 days. Why? Why? Be patient. You have to see. This is what happens when you're too impatient and you can't, just because you had a good moment with your ex and you kissed, if he's not being intentional, reaching out, asking you out on dates, he's not yet at a place where he's missing you to that level. And maybe he's just trying to hook up. And so when you go back to texting him after just 2 days, now you're chasing him. That was a mistake. I wouldn't have done that. Miss Moke, I'm gonna look at this other question from you. She says no closure. If someone says they don't want to be with you, that's all the closure you need. Okay. Some people are gonna go in depth, they're gonna break it down, but someone's telling you you're not good enough for me. You're like, and they blocked you, right? He blocked you. He said doesn't want to be with you, doesn't want to talk to you, and now you're like, oh, I need closure. You have to respect yourself and stop giving this person so much power, because that's what you're essentially doing. You're saying, I will not move on because until you give me permission to do so. Until you tell me what was so terrible about me that you can stay with me, then I can move on with my life. That's a mistake. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Okay. Accept the breakup as hard as it might be. If my ex blocked me from everything and I'm working on myself, how would he know I've changed? You're still trying to prove yourself. Guys, you have to take your ex off of a pedestal. What did your ex lose when they broke up with you? This isn't just about them. If you're the only one saying, "Oh, how can I prove myself? How can I show him I'm better?" The first step, truthfully, to showing your ex that you've changed, not like you're trying to prove anything, is to stop giving them so much energy and attention. I promise you, I have seen this time and time and time again, especially if someone blocks you. That means they are telling you they are way up here. They do not care about you, they do not want to talk to you. So you shouldn't be trying to prove anything to them. Do this for yourself, change for yourself to make your life better. And I promise you, if he starts to miss you, he will come and find you on his own. Marlon with the super chat. Appreciate it, man. He says, we had a toxic ending. She moved out, has a new boyfriend. She tells me she's very angry with me and has blocked me. I can't call her. Do you think no contact will work or am I a simp? Well, you got to do no contact for yourself in this case because I mean, there's a lot of things going on. What's the toxic ending? What exactly happened, right? Is it something that both of you can likely get over? Because there's a lot of things that would be considered toxic, and some of those things maybe people aren't able to get over. That's one big thing. Two, she's already dating someone new. So, how long ago did you guys break up? Has it been a couple of weeks or a few months? All right. But if she's already dating someone new, all of her energy, her attention, her emotions is focused on that person. There's something called limerence. Okay. Limerence is when we take new people that we're dating and we just kind of they have this halo around them, and we feel like they're extremely special, they're beautiful, they're attractive. And so if she's having limerence with this guy and she's super excited about him, there's almost nothing that you can do. And if you try to get between her and her new love, you're actually only going to bring them closer together because now they have someone to fight against you. So leave her alone. All right. But I'm curious about what was so toxic about the end of the relationship. What did you do, dude? Or what did she do? I'm curious. Turbo Guru says my ex broke up with me 5 days later. My ex broke up 5 days later, broke up again. What? Broke up twice for good measure. Then she contacted me to get my stuff back from her home and then ignored me. What can I do? Well, wait for her to contact you again. All right. So if she's asking you to get your stuff, it's fine. You can get your stuff. But if she ignored you when you tried to pick it up, just wait for her. Wait till the next time she contacts you. Sometimes exes might text you, you respond, and now they take, a week to text you back. Don't take it personally. All right. As long as you don't freak out, you don't overreact, you don't go back to chasing them, it'll be fine. It will be fine. I promise. Wait for her to contact you, and then when she does, pick up your stuff, and then you can actually start no contact for good. And let's see if she reacts to that. Kyle Richards says, "At what point has someone shown enough that you can break no contact? Never. Breadcrumbs like views on your stories definitely aren't enough, but how much effort should someone show before you give them a chance? If they're not calling you, that's not effort. If they have your number, they can call you, they can text you. There's a lot of things in between that they can do that's direct contact. Anything else doesn't count. All right. And so just because they watch your story, oh, they've watched my stories 10 times, that doesn't count. That's not good enough. They have your number. If they dumped you, let them text or call you. Anything else doesn't count. Let's see here. Ganjam says my ex still messages me even though she says she hates me and she doesn't want a relationship. I don't text her unless she texts me. What do I do? Well, now you're in a state of limbo where you're going back and forth with her with no purpose, no goal, no vision, no plans for the future. She just texts you whenever she gets bored. So if I were you, you need to set a boundary. Say, hey, like, let's get together. Let's grab a drink. And if she doesn't accept that, then stop responding to her text because she's just wasting your time. Especially if she's saying she's angry at you, she's mad at you, all these things. But she doesn't want to even make the effort to see you. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, you want to follow my Instagram? It's Black Academic. If you're looking for my Instagram, it's Black Academic. Easy to find. Uh Mariana says, I've dumped someone before. Okay, here's the thing you got to understand. When I say if a woman is in love with you, she's not dumping you. Okay. Mariana is picking the one exception that I did say. If someone's mistreating you, right? So in her case, that person wasn't treating her well. She says, I left because I knew I deserved better. That's totally different. In this case, he's not mistreating her. He's chasing her, he's begging her, he's trying to be with her, but she supposedly loves him, but she's not with him. That's just not, it doesn't happen that way. If someone walks away with you, either one, they just don't love you, regardless of what they say, or two, maybe they did care about you and they did love you, but you have been mistreating them and they've taken enough and they've moved on. That's not the case for this person. All right. So make sure you're actually anyway. There we go. Uh Brian Viver says, I contacted her after 6 months of no contact. She asked about me, how I was, and pictures of the dog. Should I keep her interested? Ask her on a date. Like, what's the point of reaching out after no contact to be sending BS text messages? That's a waste of time. Relationships are built in person, not over the phone, in person. If you're going to get back together, if you're going to fix things, you have to actually spend time together. You have to rebuild the connection that was severed. So, text messages aren't going to get you there. You're not going to text her back into a relationship. It's not going to work, dude. Set a date. Set a date. And oh, did I mention set a date? There you go. Nicole Alston says, my ex broke up with me and said he's not sure if he wants to be with me or not. Okay. He still calls and texts me every day, in which I still engage. Should I go no contact by not responding? Well, he's just keeping you on ice. And you don't go no contact. Like no contact is not, it's not a game. Okay. It's a stance of self-respect. So in your case, he's like, "Oh, you're not good enough for me to be with, but I want to text you whenever I'm bored." So what you can do is you need to communicate clearly your expectations. Say, "I'm only interested in dating you. I'm not interested in being friends." And so, if that's what you're looking for, I'd appreciate if you stop texting me. All right. If you're not willing to see me, if you're not willing to make plans so we can go out and spend time together, stop texting me. And then from that point, okay, you set this boundary. He understands why, he understands your expectations. And so you if you ignore him after that, if he's not initiating dates, he knows why. This was his choice. He chose to walk away from you. So don't let him eat his cake and have it. What's the best way to say no to an ex without feeling bad about it? No. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying no about, but just say it. All right. Be confident in yourself. If you're not getting a fair deal, just say no. I cannot. I cannot. Okay. Let's see. Just blazing says my ex tells me one day she doesn't want me in any form romantic way. Okay, but then asks for help with air on her tire one day after. That's funny. Oh, what do you think about it, coach? Broke up for 3 months, 7-year relationship. Well, she's turning you into an errand boy. That's all. She wants you to, come fix her tires, come do all these manual labor type of things. Obviously, your response should be no. No, no, no. Okay, she's wasting your time. Let's see. Someone says, I just blocked my ex and it feels refreshing actually. Well, that's up to you. All right. But if you want your ex back, you shouldn't block them because you just created an unnecessary hurdle. And if you're ever going to get back together now, your ex has to go around the block. And if they don't, the point is you will never be 100% sure. And a week from now, maybe 2 weeks from now, you'll start to ask yourself, I wonder if she called me. I wonder if you know what? I'm not sure. So let me unblock her and let me reach out to her myself. And now you just set yourself back for no reason. So if you can avoid it, don't block your ex if you can avoid it. What do you think about rebounds or casual dating after a fresh breakup? Do you suggest against it? Yeah, I definitely suggest against it because it's one thing to date casually, but it's hard for you to go into a casual dating situation and say, "Hey, I'm just here to waste your time because I'm not emotionally ready." So if you're just looking for someone to hang out with, we can date, see what happens. You know, then you can do it. But in most cases, what you're trying to do is you're trying to fill an emotional void. You're trying to fill the hole or the space that your ex left when they walked away. And that's not healthy to do with someone else's feelings because someone's going to get hurt in the process. So the best thing for you to do is to, spend this time on yourself, go to the gym, hang out with your friends, do anything else but, bring other people into your emotional situation. All right. Cabby says, shout out from the Caribbean. Hey, shout out, man. All right. Super chat from HNIC Black. My ex child's mother started contacting me after no contact and said sorry for cheating. She said she was dumb, but turns out she lied. Now back in no contact, have two kids. Any advice? She did this last month. Well, you're trying to turn uh you're trying to turn a zebra into a lion. All right. Sounds like she's a cheater. And even when she's apologizing for already cheating on you, she's still cheating in that moment. So you shouldn't be, you honestly should be respecting yourself more. Finding someone who's going to be honest with you, finding someone with integrity. Doesn't sound like this lady has integrity, right? So unfortunately, well, I mean, kids are blessings, but she's always going to be attached to you in some capacity because you have children together. But if I were you, I wouldn't want to be tied to her in any form or fashion, any way else, as long as you don't have to. So, yeah, there's nothing to do to fix it. I wouldn't be trying to fix it, dude. You got to have enough self-respect to leave people behind who disrespect you. You got to value yourself more. You're going to keep getting cheated on. What's the point of fixing things with her, knowing fully well that you would never be able to sleep in your own home? You're always going to want to look through her phone and wonder what she's doing. Oh, I'm hanging out with friends. Are you going to be like, is she really with her friends? Or is she with the guy she told me not to worry about? Yeah, I would go find someone else, dude. Margaret says, good night, coach from Trinidad. Thank you. Alombi says, my ex is blaming me for the breakup, but it was she. After 2 months of the breakup, she is uploading statuses on social media that it was me. Well, it's kind of hard when your ex is talking smack about you. Um, but there's really nothing to do if they're not defaming you. If they're just saying, oh, the breakup was your fault, I would just ignore it. Don't react to it at this point. There's nothing to do, as hurtful as it might be, and trust me, I understand how much that must pain you, but there's nothing really you can do, unless it gets to a point where she's defaming you, and then maybe you can take some action to stop that. Hmm. All right, we're gonna do a couple more questions. Appreciate you all for being here. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream. Okay, it really does help the channel. Costs you nothing, so I appreciate it. If you have any questions that you want to ask, and you want to jump the line, go ahead and send a super chat. Send a super chat, and I will prioritize your questions. The other thing, I do get a lot of questions on here that I won't be able to get to. There's some questions that I need more context because there's other things going on in the relationship or that happened before. So we can't solve all those problems like instantly. But if you want to talk to me one on one, you can book a coaching call and I'm going to pin it right now. So if you want to talk to me, go to the pinned comment at the top and you can book a coaching call and we can talk. All right. Let's get back to, huh? Who was I on? Yeah, there you go. Chipasha says, my ex is taking care of my needs and that of his child financially. Okay. But he is failing to create time to meet up in person because he's too busy with work. What can you say about that? Well, I'm curious. Are you guys, were you married? Right? Because if he's investing in you financially, that's a good thing, right? That's a positive. But big picture, if he really, really had emotional affection, he would want to see you. Um, but investing in you financially is good. Okay, but you're still gonna need a little more investment on his part. I hope you're not forcing things. I hope you're not always constantly asking, when are you gonna come back? What are we doing? All right, just allow him to keep investing. Let him keep spending on you. If he didn't care about you, he wouldn't be paying your bills. So that's good. Just give it some time at least. Where was I? Okay, here we go. Mariola says, my ex calling me regularly, but I never answered. And time to time, he put on his WhatsApp profile photo together with his ex. What's your question? And two, why I keep saying this, if you want your ex back, stop ignoring them. Okay. I gotta say it again, in case you haven't heard this before. If you want your ex back and they are contacting you, don't ignore them. At least hear out what they gotta say. Maybe they want to apologize. Maybe they want to fix things. There you go. Do you think manifesting will get her back if we're in no contact? You sound desperate. All right. And I'm definitely someone, who believes in like you attract the things in your mind and the things that you believe, but it's more so because of who you're becoming. All right. So if you believe that, okay, I'm the type of person who goes to the gym. All right. Well, then you have to start taking action. You have to actually show up at the gym. You have to do the work. So you don't just sit at home and say, "Oh, I'm going to manifest my ex back." What are the actions that you're going to take? Right. One, you should definitely be in no contact. You shouldn't be reaching out to them. And then, how are you developing your life? I've said this time and time again. When your ex finally reaches out and calls you, or when they look at you from a distance through the eyes of friends and family, maybe social media, are they going to see a better version of you? Or are you going to be the same person that they dumped? Remember, the person that they dumped, they're not attracted to that version of you. So if you really want to manifest her back, you need to start by changing for the positive, becoming a better version of yourself. So if you're not doing those things and you think you can just sit in a corner and meditate and manifest, it ain't gonna work for you, bro. um American Otaku. I broke no contact twice and got blocked everywhere. Is there hope left at all? I've been in no contact 1 month since the last time I reached out. Well, you actually have to do the things. I always get people who reach out to me after they've done everything I said that you shouldn't do. All right. So obviously your chances are getting worse and worse the more you break no contact. I gotta be honest with you. The more you break no contact and your ex blocks you or they send you an angry message, you're making things worse and worse and worse. So stop reaching out, stay in no contact. Let's see. Demai says my ex dumped me and I went no contact immediately. Good. He liked my post and sent a reel on Instagram, but I didn't react. Good. Suddenly, he texted me asking, see, it's slow and steady. That's textbook. All right. Look at this. She went no contact immediately. And then he started liking posts. She didn't respond. He sent her a reel on Instagram. That's a DM, right? But just with some kind of pointless, silly video. She ignored it. Okay. He's constantly moving. They're gonna keep escalating when you don't respond to breadcrumbs. Now, if they contact you directly with a message, a call, or a text, then you can respond. All right. But you see what happened when she ignored the real. He says, suddenly he's texted me asking if I'm giving him the silent treatment, then disappears. Well, I'm curious how you responded to the text. Never overreact. Just say, Nope." All right. So I'm really curious about what you said, but it shows how he was moving in the right direction. But you definitely have to be very cautious when your ex finally gets a hold of you. Uh, So watch this. Marlon says we had a toxic ending. She dissed me to her friends, and now she says she's happy with another guy, and she has me blocked. Like, what else? What else do you want? She's disrespecting you to her friend. That's a high level of disrespect, and it also shows that at least right now she's not thinking about the future with you. Because if she cared, she would care about your reputation with her friends and family. So distance yourself as much as possible. Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna do a couple more questions and we're gonna call it a night. We're going to call it a night. All right. So we're gonna do three more questions. We're gonna call it a night. I appreciate all the questions. Thank you all. I tried to get to as many as possible. If I didn't get to your question, we're gonna do three more. Send a super chat real quick if you want to. If not, you can book a coaching call if you really need to talk. Or you know what, let me just make these last three random, just to be fair. We're gonna make these last three random. I was about to answer, who's about to answer? It was Renee, and then we'll make the last two random. Renee says, we've been together 5 years and got married. I was very good to him. He walked out on me and wants a divorce. What should I do? Give him the divorce. You can't force anyone to be with you. Seriously. So he walked out on you. He chose to leave and he's asking for a divorce. You can't confine someone and make them be with you. You have to let him go. Let's see. Kenneth says we've been split up for 2 months and she's talking to other guys but calls me every day. I've spent the night and slept with her multiple times. I started no contact today. Any tips? Well, you just started no contact, so be patient. See what she does. But it is a good sign that she's agreeing to see you. It sounds like she just doesn't want the commitment, which is, I wouldn't focus on the label right now. Like, it's a good thing that she's wanting to see you. You're probably just, you have to work on courting her properly as long as she's coming to you. But um that's a tricky one when you guys are seeing each other and hooking up. It's a good thing, but it's tricky. Mixed G up says my ex broke up with me and we've been no contact and she made it seem like I was the most evil person ever, so I let it go. Did no contact and she calls me randomly early in the morning when she's drunk. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. She's thinking about you, she's missing you, she's moving in the right direction. It's okay. All right. This is gonna be the last question, and we're gonna call it. From Michael G. Do exes keep that line of connection alive to test you and see if you're working on yourself? My girl has me still on Snap and Instagram. Well, obviously they want to keep the line of communication open in some cases so that you can reach out to them. So they don't have to reach out to you, which is fine. ultimately, if they walked out on you, let them be the ones to come back on their own. All right. So a lot of them will leave the door open so you can chase them, but you don't chase someone who dumps you ever, 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 ever. Okay. Anyway, I hope this is helpful to everyone that was in here. Appreciate you guys for the super chats, for the likes, for the questions. And thank you for all the questions. I really do appreciate it. Everyone from wherever you are all around the world, thank you for joining. It's been an awesome discussion. We're going to be live again on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you look that up so you can know what time it is in your country or your time zone. But 9:30 p.m. Central Time. It's been an amazing call. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you. If you want to talk to me one on one, the quickest way to do so, either click that link up top right now, or if you watch any of my videos, it's going to be the first link in description. Thank you all so much. I'll catch you on Wednesday. Peace. Later.